Welcome to the Camden County Chamber of Commerce's Get in Your Business podcast, your go-to source for all things small business in Camden County. I'm your host, Allison Shores, and each week we'll be diving into the heart of our community, bringing you inspiring interviews with local small business owners, insightful discussions on issues that matter, and the latest on events that could impact your business. Plus, don't miss out on our expert tips to help your business grow and thrive. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur or a seasoned business pro, this is the podcast for you. So let's get down to business. Camden County, Allison Shores, Camden County Chamber of Commerce, and you are catching the 12th episode of the Get in Your Business podcast. I'm so excited today, guys, because I've got two people in the studio, and I cannot wait to get all in their business. So please help me welcome Jamie and Troy from Sysco. Do I just say Sysco?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That works. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know if there was like something after that I was missing. Just Sysco.
Just Sysco.
Okay, so first things first, thank y'all for being here. What is Sysco? Let's go there first. And then I want to know your roles within Sysco.
Yes, ma'am. So Sysco is the world's largest food distributor.
The world's largest food distributor.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. And I am the local sales rep here in Camden County.
And when you say local, you just mean Camden County.
Just Camden County. I just take care of Camden County. So
you're not up there living in Brunswick.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey,
I love it.
People that live in Brunswick.
I mean, there's, we don't have time to get into that on this podcast. I'm just teasing.
But no, ma'am, I was born and raised here in Camden County, and my God's plan was for me to take care of the people out here in Camden.
So you were like, you know people here.
I know everybody. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, everybody. I love it. All right. So Troy, what about you?
I'm over new business development for the southeast part of Georgia. I am a resource for people like Jamie to help bring on new accounts. I cover from Savannah, Statesboro, down to Valdosta, and everywhere in between.
Wow. So you're not busy at all, huh?
No, I don't do anything. Nothing. Today I'm here. Tomorrow I'll be in Savannah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I love that. Okay. So now, Jamie, as I have learned, you actually have a lot of our chamber members' accounts as far as restaurants go.
Yes, ma'am.
You are their local rep. Now, that being said, what have you noticed lately with the rise in food costs? I think a lot of people here, I go on rants and raves a lot, and I see what people are complaining about, just so I can get an understanding maybe of some things. And I talk to a whole lot of people. And they all seem to think that this rise in cost, if you will, I feel like they feel like the consumer is absorbing all of it. And I feel like they look at these prices on these menus and they're like, what? They've just skyrocketed. And then we get reports where, certain places made a whole lot of money last year, but we're claiming inflation. So let's talk about food costs. Is there a rise? Are these restaurants really feeling it in food costs? And is it just food, or are we talking about supplies as well?
We're talking everything. Inflation's real.
It is.
Inflation is real. And not only are food costs up, labor's up.
Mm-hmm.
So as hard as it is for these restaurant owners to find labor, you got to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
And everything will add up, and they have to put that in, to their menu as well.
Yes. It's not just the cost of food.
It's not just the cost of food, it's the cost of everything.
But can we say that the cost of food has gone up a whole lot?
Tremendously, yes, ma'am.
Now, what about like things? I always go back to when we're talking like gloves, but portion cups, gloves. You also provide those things with Sysco. Is that correct?
We do, yes, ma'am. And all that went up. COVID. Of course, supply
that
chain.
C word.
Everything went up. But gloves were a huge one. Now all that's come back down. We've Sysco and everybody. You can see where gloves of stuff like that's come down. Would you agree, Troy?
I agree. You'll find that inflation is the main reason why the cost of the goods have gone up. Now you will have things that drive inflation, price of fuel and everything else that help get the trucks, get the product to us so that we can get the products to the operators themselves. When you loop all that in, that causes the cost to rise. The operators have to raise their cost in order to stay in business.
Absolutely.
You have to have a sustainable business model for you to survive.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like, we can sit here and, complain that the prices are high, but it's not the restaurant owners themselves. And that's what I want people to understand. It's not, our our local people sitting here like, how can I get the most money possible from all these people? And I'll just call it inflation. That's not what's happening. Inflation is real.
It's real.
You know, and I think it's easy for us to sit back and be like, well, has that gone up? But you can look at fuel alone, and fuel, you need fuel to get these trucks to the places. So that,
exactly.
So fuel is through the roof. So that's going to drive diesel up. Is that correct?
Yep.
Am I saying all this correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now I have a question. Tell me, what is the benefit of having a local representative from Sysco like that you deal with? What is so great about that?
Well, I guess the best part about me and my job is I'm a 10-minute phone call away. You know, it doesn't take very long to get anywhere in Camden.
Yeah.
And I live, right there at Laurel Island, so I feel like I'm right in the middle. But not only you don't have to wait for somebody to come from Jacksonville or Brunswick or wherever. You have a guy that's always right here. I'm embedded in this community, and not only that, I have the biggest food distributor in the world backing.
Let's talk worldwide.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So one thing that I love about this is the businesses here that I deal with as well. They love you, and it's because they can count on you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think in the days of Amazon and people being in India answering phones and everything else, I think, what a great benefit to have a local person that I know, and he's my friend, They
just call that 912 number, and I answer right away.
Yeah.
Yes,
So now, do you guys, if anybody is listening that is thinking about opening up a restaurant, what about we say supplies, but what about equipment? Do you guys do any of that kind of stuff?
Sysco offers everything.
Oh, wow.
Everything. So we, anytime a restaurant, they need, whether a stove or a fridge or anything like that, we have a company that Sysco owns that's able to supply all that stuff at a very, very great cost.
Now, something else I wondered, because I used to work in the restaurant industry. And so something that I was curious about is so I know that you guys don't make commission.
No,
we discussed that on our video. That's not out. So you guys stay tuned for that one, because the video is coming out. But that's wonderful. So now there's not there's just one price that you're charging.
Yes, ma'am.
To everybody.
So I just basically, I'll fight, to the death to get, because Sysco's the biggest, so they're able to buy the best. But I'll just fight to get the lowest price that I can, because it doesn't matter to me.
Gotcha.
I'm a salary.
It doesn't affect your pocket.
It doesn't affect my pocket, in which I'm trying to give all that savings onto that customer.
Yeah, I love that. Now, something we were talking about before we started the podcast was some analytics that kind of come along with that. Will you tell me a little bit about that, Troy?
There are all kind of things that we can dive into with Sysco. Sysco has everything except the building. If you want to talk about the analytics, we have things like Sysco Studio that can really help you dive into your business to help understand your food costs better. I have worked with a lot of people all across the Southeast, and a lot of them are not as in touch with their business as they would like to be. If you don't know what it costs you to put everything on a plate, then it's really hard for you to know where you need to sell it at.
Absolutely. Because there's so much that goes into what's on that plate.
That's right. And you have to understand that. And the good thing about doing business with Sysco is we have software and tools to help you understand that and to stay up on it. You're not having to spend hours in Excel building spreadsheets. You one-click refresh on Sunday, and you know exactly where your food costs are just by doing business with us.
Wow. That's incredible.
Simple.
Yeah.
That's what Sysco brings to the table, is the partnerships that we create with our operators help us create an environment where their life is less complicated than dealing with 3 or 4 different broadliners.
Yeah. So, Jamie, how did you get into doing this?
Well, I was actually in your neck of the woods. I was living in Valdosta. I graduated from Valdosta State, and I was working at a restaurant over there, and almost 20 years, and I had a baby.
Yeah,
my wife and I,
yes.
She got pregnant, and I was, we dealt with Sysco at the restaurant I was working at 100%. So they said, look, we know you're trying to get back to Camden. What if we were able to put you, have a sales rep job that you took care of Camden County? And it was just a dream come true.
Yeah.
I was like,
no
wow.
brainer.
No brainer. I was
taking it.
I want to get home to my family and everybody else and all these people I went to high school with and know. And I'm like, shoot, yeah, let's do it. I was like, let's do
That's
it.
Great.
One thing that I've noticed just getting to talk to you guys is that both of you love your job. And you love who you work for.
More than anything.
It is so much fun. And y'all have been so much fun today. So is that true? A true statement?
Absolutely. I don't feel like I've worked in 2 years.
Wow.
Really.
Yeah.
it's been great since day one. I mean, I needed an opportunity where I was able to stay home more or be able to not have to travel as much.
Yeah.
And Sysco provided that and provided a good living for me. And it is so much fun to go to work every day.
Yeah. I love that.
It's like my wife will joke around. She's like, really? You're just getting paid to just joke with people all day? And I'm like, yeah, that's it. I help them take care of them. They're friends. That's family.
That's all we do is make friends.
That's how I feel about my job. You know, like you don't work a day in your life if you truly love what you do. I just feel like I get to hang out with the coolest people all day and learn so much and just about them, about what they do, their passions, everything. So I do have one question that came in, and I just want to ask you guys because, well, here we are. So the bird flus, do things like that affect you guys? Like, I mean, I hate to even say bird flu, swine flu, and I think there's one more. What was it called? Avian. Yeah. Are you sick of hearing those words?
The avian flu is real.
It's real.
You will have a lot of conversations with a lot of people who will make claims that it is not just a way to drive up cost, and it's just simply not true.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is if one bird is tested and test positive for avian flu, then the entire flock has to be killed.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes time to hatch new birds and grow new chickens to the point where they're ready for production.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think either one of us are prepared to have that conversation. To dive into how long it takes or what it takes.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine. Yeah.
But it does upset the market. You know, whenever supply goes down, you have supply and demand that drives up cost. You know, and then you have stock issues. Because you don't have the birds that are producing the eggs.
Yeah.
It does disrupt the market. And whenever a bird gets avian flu, I mean, you'll have 100,000 birds that'll have to be euthanized at a time and have to start from scratch. I mean, that upsets the market.
Because I think people hear about it in the news and they hear that this is going on, but they don't really truly know how it affects them. And I think, I just wanted you to touch on that.
Oh, it's definitely a real thing. Yes, ma'am.
So what else do we have? Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about or say as far as Sysco goes in your local role here?
I guess my biggest, input would just be, for these people, just, if they're not using Sysco or if they've had a bad experience with Sysco in the past, it's a whole new ballgame.
Amen to that.
It is a whole new ballgame. They've never had a local rep here in Camden County. They've never had somebody that's, in their business and making sure, that I can get the prices down as cheap as I can, or the deliveries. Our driver's local. How awesome is that?
I love that.
Yeah. So RJ lives out here.
I was about to say RJ.
RJ lives in Camden. He's a local guy as well. And I felt like these relationships that I've built with these customers has a lot to do with RJ as well.
It does.
They see RJ as much as they see me.
Yeah.
So. And, Allison, you brought up something really that I'd like to touch on. You talked about, reaching out to Amazon or using Webstaurant or talking to someone in India. You can use Webstaurant and they can order the equipment, they can get it to you. But if you will take a look at Webstaurant, find out what you're looking for, talk with Jamie, get a comparable quote. If you have a problem with something you're buying off of Amazon, you pick up the phone and you talk to somebody in India. It's hard to understand. You're trying to fight a warranty claim. If you have a problem with something inside of Sysco or a problem with that piece of equipment, you pick up the phone, call Jamie, and he says, I got it under control, and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
See, I love that.
Peace of mind alone is worth.
The peace of mind and somebody having your back.
That's right.
And it's personal.
It's very personal to me.
Like you have even helped me. We haven't even known each other that long, and you have already just introduced me to so many people that I have been trying to have like relationships with or trying to figure out how to get in there. And you've just like made it happen, and they like love you. Like you're their friend, and they can count on you. And I can't tell you how much that truly means in this day and age.
And I absolutely love that. That's what we do is we create partnerships between us and the people that open these restaurants, and they understand and know that we are here to help support them and make sure they're successful.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's how I've always said, they're not customers to me.
No.
They may be to Sysco, but to me, they're friends that they just happen to buy the groceries.
That's how I feel about the wonderful business owners I get to meet. And some of them are the same because some of them are restaurants, but they are just amazing people, and they are like, they're part of my life. I want to know what they do after work, before work, like what their kids are into, all the things. And I think that makes a total difference on the local level.
And that can, a lot of times, with a salesman, you could say, when they're coming to see you, you just, what is he doing now? Now it's like, what's up, Jamie?
Yeah, I know.
Well, think about that, really. How many times do you get phone calls from people that you know that are trying to sell you something? What do you do? Do you answer the phone? I try not to.
I roll my eyes.
I'm in sales.
And I'm like,
But somebody that wants to partner with you, your friend, I'm answering that call every time.
Same.
That is what I want to create.
Agreed.
Is a partnership between us and whoever we're trying to do business with.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of people, whenever they're trying to open up a restaurant, this is the first time they've dove off into something like this. Jamie helps open restaurants every month. I am in several every week that are opening. Reach out to these resources and just ask questions.
Because starting a business is scary.
Very scary.
And when you think you know everything, but then somebody brings something to you, you're like, I have no idea. The fact that you guys can come in and you actually know, and you actually help open some of these restaurants, like worked and helped them open. Not just like said, oh, I'm here with some balloons and a cake to celebrate. You were actually working.
That's
here recently I was bussing tables.
That's what I was talking about with
exactly
Firefly.
Firefly. And I called Dan and Chuck and Rosanna and I said, look, whatever you need me to do, I'll do.
And you meant it.
I meant it. I was in there running
and
food,
delivers every day.
Yeah, every day.
I love it.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys have been so much fun. I literally think I could sit here and talk to y'all about all kinds of stuff like the rest of the day. But I know y'all have stuff to do. And Kanan probably wants to get out of here. But thank you guys so much. Do y'all want to say anything else before we get out of here?
I guess the only thing I really want to just call me.
Yes, give everybody your number.
912-674-3063. I'm telling you guys, I could help you do anything you need me to do. And like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I plan on doing this until I retire and being out here in Camden County because that's where I want to be. And Sysco's been, best company I've ever worked for.
Thank you so much, Allison.
Thank you, Allison.
Y'all are amazing. Thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe. We are still taking sponsors, so please contact us at 912-729-5840 if you are interested in sponsoring this podcast. Thank you guys for listening. You've got the 12th episode of the Get In Your Business podcast.